Hey folks, my name is Michael or Kubera, and today we've gone outside without a mask. We should be fine. There's nobody on the streets looking both ways. Always good to be safe, and today I am discussing about my BTC, my Bitcoin. That is right, I only have Bitcoin currently. I have traded all my LBC from library into Bitcoin, and every single month I'm going to get anywhere from $50, $60 to $80, $90 in library credits, thanks to my two YouTube channels. I'll transfer that into Bitcoin, and currently all of my Bitcoin has grown a little bit because it's at $9,600. So I wanted to make this video as an update what I will do with my Bitcoin now that I do have it. How much do I have? I have 0.35 BTC in one wallet, and in another one is just 0.01. And there's also $22 in Coinbase, which Coinbase can't for some reason get a hold of. Technically, it's not my Bitcoin. Great. But at current market prices, that's around $3,400 in Bitcoin. I got that from selling, most of it from selling a digital asset. I chose Bitcoin as the preferred payment route because it would be the safest, just to prevent chargebacks. I trust it, and there is the option to earn a few percent. You see, when you have Bitcoin, you're able to sell it for a few percent over. There is a little bit of risk involved with this process, but very soon we will be discussing about selling on Paxful and local Bitcoins again, revisiting that as I have to go through it myself. I already have sold back in 2017 and 18, but for 2018 and 19, the most of my sales with Bitcoin were to my subscribers through Twitter. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. Nobody scammed me, but, you know, there's some risks involved with that. This is my Bitcoin plan, so let's roll the intro. Jesus, I hate small little dogs like that who are barking for no reason. I'm going for a walk, a nice peaceful walk here. My tinnitus isn't the best. I already saw a nice doggo, but this doggo didn't bark. This is the smile when I'm in the middle of the street because I saw a big doggo this time and I moved, but he just stared at me. A nice German Shepherd. I like German Shepherds. He knows I'm not a threat, but he still is guarding his house. So you have to have a set of rules when you have Bitcoin. And what are these rules? It all depends on your financial situation. I'm in a bad financial situation currently, so I have to have some strict rules set in place so I don't lose A, my money, and B, make my financial situation even worse. Obviously, losing money would make my financial situation worse, but what do I mean by that? Debt. So losing money and growing debt would be the worst possible outcome. To prevent this, due to the volatility of the markets, I have decided to go a 50-50 route. Very simple process. Since holding money in USD right now is also pretty volatile, and since going into stocks or pretty much anything currently due to the shape of the markets, I've assessed there's risks on both sides. So the number one thing that needs to be paid are the bills. But once I have paid bills for the next few months, that means I've guaranteed some time, 90 to 180 days, depending on how much I cash out. Once I've paid my bills in advance, I have to realize that if I'm holding too much USD and it continues to drop, where recently, just comparing USD to PLN, I live in Poland, so I have to use zloty. If I had $1,000 in just PLN, I would have lost. If I had $1,000 instead of PLN, I would have lost even 200 PLN, which is quite a bit. That's enough for groceries, and that's just over the past 2 weeks. And that is just from holding US dollars for 2 weeks. What's going to happen in the next few weeks as the US government continues to hand out trillions and trillions of dollars? The situation is getting more and more unstable with now riots in America. These are small things, but there's a lot of them, and a lot of them tends to add up to something much larger, which does affect your money. So I decided, since this isn't a large amount, it is to me currently, but compared to 2017, and for most people, 50% of $3,000, $1,500 isn't that much. In America, that is less than 1 month's living cost. It depends on your rent, depends where you are. Of course, obviously, California is going to be more expensive than Texas and Iowa. My maximum expenses in Poland should be $500 to $600. My rent should be $215 to $225. It all depends on the currency prices. That's why I'm saying between these amounts, give or take a few dollars for rent. It's not that much. And I'm living more frugally right now, so I'm splitting costs with my girlfriend for internet, for Netflix, which is a luxury. But I didn't have Netflix when my financial situation was worse. I thought, you know what? I signed up for the student package because I had the last week that my student card was active. I dropped out of university, but while it was still active, I got 50% half off. Wait, that's not Netflix. That's Spotify. That is Spotify. Yeah, so me and my girlfriend share the same Spotify account because whenever we listen to music, that's something that calms me down. And I also pay in PLN. So for the Americans out there, yes, it is a little bit cheaper. It's almost the same prices, but it is a little bit cheaper. For example, Spotify is $9.99, while in Poland it's $9.99 PLN, so that is like $3. Anyways, I'm living frugally, so I will cash out half of my Bitcoin, and most likely I won't cash it out in an ATM where they'll take 4%. Worst case scenario, I cash it out with someone who already has a proposed deal on local Bitcoins, and they're going to take 1 to 2%, maybe even less. I have to make sure I can trust them, and that 1 to 2% will be a big difference. For $3,000, hey, 2% is $60. Also, again, $60, 200, 300 PLN, that is good for groceries. And the other half, the 50% remaining, will be left in Bitcoin. I've decided to go the path of Bitcoin maximalism. Until the situation improves and until I have more money in Bitcoin, I will continue to hold Bitcoin. And then when I have a few $1,000s, I will diversify Ethereum, Litecoin, some privacy coins. I enjoy privacy coins. And then I can go into riskier projects. But first, it's the top 50 coins. Most coins are clones. And depending on your financial situation, you might hold 40% of your monthly income in Bitcoin because you earn a lot and you have everything paid for. You might hold 10% of your monthly income in Bitcoin. What is really, really important is if you want to invest in cryptocurrency is to have a monthly income that, first of all, supports everything. You don't have too much debts, or if you do have debts, everything is paid out on a monthly plan, and then figure out a percentage that you're able to deposit into cryptocurrency. For some people, maybe instead of doing monthly, you just want to hold a few $1,000s in Bitcoin and that's it. You don't want to risk too much more. That is okay. Just figure out if what you're starting off with won't affect other areas of your life negatively. So don't put too much in there if you've got a mortgage to pay, if you've still got car bills, if you've got child alimony, whatever it is. I've also set another rule, and this rule is quite simple. If for some reason something crazy begins to happen with the markets and Bitcoin is going down to like $4,000, which the chances are low currently, it's been pretty stable above $9,000 for quite a long time now, then ultimately I will go into a stable coin. I'll put it into USD Tether, and until everything stabilizes, I will hold it there, and when it does, I'll go back into Bitcoin and we should be fine. That is a rule that I have not had before. But just in case, there's some crazy movements, and it all depends, a 5% movement up or down, it doesn't really matter. For crypto, hey, that's normal. Some people might say, well, listen, you don't have that much money currently, so why don't you take it all out? And there is another aspect to this. One is I can't invest in stocks, and I also can't keep my money in the bank. You see, if I keep my money in the bank, it may not happen this month, it may not happen next month, but maybe 6 months from now, when it's a fair amount, when it, let's say, is $1,000, they take it out. And who are they? The debt collectors. So both in America and Poland, I have debt collectors, and they can take stocks. So I'm not able to invest that. They can take my money from the banks. They can take a vehicle if I had one. So that's why I care shared. That's why I also sold my car. That was one of the reasons. It wasn't the main reason, but that was also a good reason to sell my car a few months back. I have nothing registered to my name. I don't even live in a house that I am contractually obliged to pay every month. Obviously, I'm not going to screw over my girlfriend, but everything is under her name. So I've thought out some of these things, and crypto is honestly a pretty safe option when you also include the fact that you have debt collectors. So that is currently my plan with Bitcoin. I will most likely have anywhere from $1,500 to $1,800 in Bitcoin, depending on the price when I actually do this. And this is probably going to happen over the next week. Sell half and keep the other half. And then any LBC that I get every single month will go into Bitcoin. So that'll be my income right there, right? I'm not going to purchase any crypto. If I get any donations in crypto, if I get paid in crypto, or I get those LBC, the credits, I'll transfer them into Bitcoin. And that's how it'll slowly grow. Not going to be doing any day trading. I'm not going to do any risky ICO investments. Maybe there might be some airdrop. Maybe there's going to be some fun faucets we find. Maybe I'm going to ask my subscribers from the other channel, instead of paying me through PayPal or Patreon, to send donations more in Bitcoin. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, yes, my hope is that Bitcoin does go up. If it goes up to $15,000, and if I'd have $2,000, by the time it hits $10,000 and goes to $15,000, my $2,000 goes suddenly up to $3,000. And like I said, my living costs, well, maximum $500, $600 per month. So an extra $1,000 gives me an extra 2 months. And that's how I'm thinking of everything, extra few months of life. And this is really calming for the mind, because when you're in debt and when you finally have some money to work with, it gives you stability. It gives you more focus. You're able to focus on what is going to happen over the next few months. So that is my plan. I wish you guys all the best. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow my journey and you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we shall see you guys tomorrow in the next video.